Hello and welcome to Free Kick with me Neeraj Prabhu. France have emerged the champions of the world after their 4-2 victory over a fighting gallant Croatian side at the FIFA World Cup 2018 Russia. Former India striker Francis de Souza here in the studio to analyze the performance of France, a deserving title for Didier Deschamps' man.
In fact, this World Cup has been mesmerizing, incredible, and people have just enjoyed it. Not for the favourites coming good, but for the underdogs coming good.
Yeah.
The youngsters, that's the raw talent that you're going to see for a number of years to come. See the number of records that are broken here in this competition. The late goals, 20 of them, the penalty kicks, and VAR deciding and adding to the excitement or the dismay of some fans. Good for somebody, bad for somebody else. This is what happened at the finals.
Right.
So I think France, as I said, had the quality, and although Croatia started very rigorously, they are playing their normal game, kept on attacking the France goal, but ultimately Croatia was lacking in the attacking third. Their first touch was bad, and obviously the finishing. So I thought that was the trend right from the first half, especially after they had scored the equalizer. They missed a couple of chances. If they could have capitalized on that, it could have been a different story. But, and as you know, after France went back to the dressing room, must have got a pep talk from Didier Deschamps, a seasoned campaigner at this World Cup, and very rightly so. He's changed his strategy to counter attack and to send the long balls to Mbappe, the speedy Mbappe, who delivered as per the plans of the coach.
First goal wherein Mandzukic got his head onto a Griezmann delivery of a free kick. It would have been goal in any case because the trajectory of the ball seemed like it was heading on target, isn't it?
Yeah, if you analyze the free kicks taken by Croatia and France, the free kick taken by Griezmann was on target. It was within the three posts, and very rightly so, because in that situation, in that melee, anything can happen. And you got somebody, France got the advantage of a slight flick of the head by Mandzukic, who tried to deflect the ball. But unfortunately and luckily for France, they got the lead.
Right. And then Perisic scored that brilliant equalizer, a screaming diagonal left-footer shot on target.
The first three goals were from dead ball situations, but the goal that Croatia scored had a little bit of class. It went right up to the right wing. It was played back in the center, headed back, very well controlled and laid off, and Perisic beautifully sent it to the corner with no chance to the goalkeeper.
Right. And then the most important call of the match, probably because of the assistance of technology, and most of the experts have dubbed it as the turning point in the game. The VAR and referee Pitana interpreted that call to be a penalty kick for France.
In fact, it is very heartbreaking for the team who conceded such a penalty at that juncture of the match. They had come back in the game, and unfortunately, I think you can't sort of take away the VAR implementation and how good it has been for some teams. It was very well noticed after the replays by the referee that there was a little bit of intentional play by Perisic to play the ball, and very rightly he has awarded the penalty kick. It's definitely going to be heartbreaking for a team who has been playing consistently well and fighting very well in those minutes to get back into the game.
Absolutely. Croatians who had played 3 extra time games in their run up to the finals then showed the effect of the extras put in, and there were all tiring legs out there in the second half, and France capitalized really well.
Yeah, that's the quality of players France has got. They get 1 or 2 chances and they convert them. Yeah, number of chances that Croatia got, like I said, the first touch wasn't good, or the final touch finishing was not good. So that's where Croatia was let down. In a little way, I think the fatigue also create a little problem for them. Like the ball which rebounded back from Pogba after he taken a shot at the goal. I mean, Modric was right in front of him.
Yes.
But as you say, if body doesn't react with fatigue, and that's exactly what happened. He never even attempted to block the ball, and Pogba was free, and he converted in style.
Overall, the 4-2 scoreline seems humbling for Croatia for the effort they put inward. As Francis, you have said, their inability to finish the chances really hurt them.
Yeah, definitely. In a final like this, if you don't score goals, you get very few chances, and you got to convert them. But unfortunately, that has been a little bit of a trend with the Croatian team right through the competition.
Golden ball deservedly going to Luka Modric?
Yes, in fact, Luka has been very consistently playing the brilliant brand of football that he plays. He holds on, controls the midfield, gets those defense-splitting passes. He puts the confidence in his players, and very rightly so. He has even gone on to the score sheet by scoring that beautiful goal against Argentina. So he is the leader in that Croatian team. And if you have seen him, I think there is not a player who had performed the way he has performed for any team. And I think he rightly deserves the award. They give him due credit, and he has translated that intelligence of his into the play where Croatia has come up to the level of the finals.
Having also won Champions League with Real Madrid, probably Luka will be a big candidate for World Player of the Year award now.
Yeah, definitely. But I think if he had won this World Cup, he would be a strong contender for the Ballon d'Or.
Right.
But I think that is a little setback for him to get the Ballon d'Or.
Right. Another big name that has come out of this World Cup is teenager Kylian Mbappe, 19-year-old, now compared to Pele when he was at young age. As Mbappe also scored a goal in the World Cup final, just like the great Pele in 1958. Young player of the award winner, Mbappe for you.
Yeah, in fact, you will have to wait maybe another 50 years for somebody to come up with a performance like this, and to break those records and to get on the record books like Pele had in 1958. And we saw Mbappe. We never thought we would see somebody like this, a teenager scoring a goal in the finals and be remembered along with the great Pele, the legend. So it's big credit to Mbappe, and I think he will be there to break a few more records.
Harry Kane of England with 6 goals won the Golden Boot award, while Belgium goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois bagged the Golden Glove. No surprises there.
In fact, Harry Kane was a little lucky.
Yes.
That he got those penalty kicks which added to his numbers, and he converted them very rightly. But as the tournament progressed, I think he went into a shell. This was not the Harry Kane we have seen in the Premier League.
Right.
And I think he lost his confidence, and he was not as effective as he was in the earlier games. Much was expected of Harry Kane, but he just faded away as the competition progressed.
I read somewhere that he was tired in English media. A 24-year-old getting that tired after an exertion against Colombia. So
yeah, it may not be little physical tiredness. It must be a little mental tiredness. I mean, the weight of him, the expectation of the people that he has to perform for England. And you know the England fans, they have a lot of expectations. And Harry Kane was their hero, their idol, somebody whom they put their heart out and their hopes into. And as that must have weighed on his mind all along the competition. And he was not coming good in field goals as he was known at Tottenham. So I think the pressure must have added on. And that's why I think he went little into the shell.
What has been the essence of this World Cup? Let us know from Francis, what are the new trends in football that you have spotted at this World Cup?
You know, this World Cup has showed us how the teams have progressed globally. I mean, there are no underdogs as such now, and there are a lot of expectations from younger teams and younger nations. So in future, I think they are going to make the tournament into 26 into 48 teams. I think you will also at that point of time will be seeing new teams emerging, new players emerging, and there will not be a bigger gap between the favourites and the underdogs. I think there is a lot of development happening all over the world, and I think our Asian teams are a glaring example of the development that has happened at Asia level. You talk about Korea, you talk about Japan, you talk about Iran. I mean, they are the teams which have showed a lot of promise, and given an opportunity, I think the other teams may also progress the way these teams have performed at the World Cup. So we are going to have a very competitive World Cup as we go ahead.
Right, especially looking at the European teams and how the last four stage was transformed into a Euro Cup. Have the European teams finally cut the gap a lot with their South American counterparts?
You see, the style of play from the South American to the European football is too different. Now, most of the South American players are playing in Europe now. So, in fact, they are trying to adapt to that style of play in Europe. So, and by that what happens is they are forgetting their own natural way of playing football. Right. The Brazilian, the Uruguayan, the Argentinians, they are famous for individual flair and running with the ball and keeping the ball and creating the chances and all. So it's more a little bit of a direct football in Europe. So that change has affected the South American teams, and that's why you have a little inferior performance by the teams of South America.
Right. VAR was one of the most important additions to this FIFA World Cup 2018 Russia, and how it played a role with one of the most important calls being taken in the finals, and that enabled France also to gain a foothold in the game. So VAR, according to you, one of the key additions to world football now?
Yeah, because in fact VAR has stopped the controversy, because it gives the referee and the public a second chance to view what exactly has happened. Because whatever happens in the split second, the flash, is not digested by the crowd or the referee, or not noticed by the crowd or the referee. And there is always the doubt whether it was a genuine penalty or it was a wrong call by the referee. So this eliminates that part of it. Right. This eliminates the injustice to the team. And I think very rightly, if there was this intentional movement of the hand by Perisic, yes, which was spotted by VAR and not by the referee.
Otherwise, that wouldn't have been spotted if VAR was not in place.
Yeah, but then the FIFA has ultimately left the decision to the referee of the day to give him another opportunity to see what was the incident, and then to decide and take a call by himself. So this is a very good thing as far as football is concerned. It may hurt somebody, but you can make a right decision after you have a second look at the incident. So that's very good for football, and I think people will accept it as time goes on, and as it is being implemented in various competitions.
Right. If only VAR wasn't available here, Croatia could have taken the game right down to the wire like they did in the past. So in the competition, we also saw a lot of upsets, and none bigger than South Korea knocking Germany out. So looking at the World Cup, next World Cup to be held in Qatar, which are the teams you think could be really promising from the Asian continent for that World Cup?
See, we have very young teams like France, and to a certain extent even Belgium, who are and you have the Japanese, the Koreans, yeah, and you have, don't forget, the Germans.
Yes.
And even to a certain extent the Brazilians. They all have the core team is all the young players there who can play for another 4 years or to another 5-6 years. So I think we'll have youth against the experience, and this factor is always going to make a difference in this competition at the world stage like this.
So I said promising teams for the next World Cup. I am not using the term favorites here. So do you think this World Cup will change the trend of tagging somebody as pre-tournament favorites, because that reputation didn't count for anything at the World Cup in Russia? So everybody would think twice before calling somebody a favorite going into the next World Cup.
Yeah, but I think there are fans who will not give their favorites up, like Brazil, Germany, Spain. I think it's difficult for them to say that their team is not going to be a favorite team, because like Germany, the under 23 has won the European tournament, Confederation Cup. So I think they are also a threat to be the champions in the next World Cup, because they have the younger team. But I think you cannot get the passion away out from these players. You will always have surprises and you will always have favorites. And I think that's good for the game, and that's good for the passion of the people and the fans.
What type of football have you spotted that it is more effective than a certain brand of football? Counter-attacking football versus possession football. How do you see that at this World Cup?
In fact, whatever strategy the coach is using, all depends on the availability of the players, the talent, the pool of talent that the coach has, and he will devise his strategy according to what resources are available to him. So in this, you have seen young players like Mbappe and the Belgian people who are very fast. But it all depends whether we are having more players in the team like this, for coaches of all the teams to adopt the strategy of counter-attacking or defending for the most part of the match, and then trying to go into the attack in the last 15 or 20 minutes. So this strategy will be all worked up by the coaches as per the availability of the players and how they respond to his tactics and strategies and the systems. So this will be the call that the coaches and the team and his team will have to take on the availability of the players.
Which coach has impressed you the most?
In fact, I think Roberto Martinez was a very gutsy coach. He tried to implement a lot of things in the Belgium team, and that's one reason why he could do it, because the pool of talent that he had the confidence in changing the tactics because of the availability of the players. And that's what really happened with in Brazil, what he did against Brazil. And I think it was his first outing at the World Cup, and for a coach to take such a bold step in changing the formation of the team, getting De Bruyne to play on top and Lukaku a little back. So, that is a little gutsy for a coach who is very adventurous and who looks at the attacking format.
Right. Ahead of the FIFA World Cup, there were apprehensions about how or what quality hosts would be Russia, but we didn't hear of any untoward incident on record. So really enjoyable World Cup off the field as well for you?
Yeah, in fact, there is nothing on the media, into the print media about some.
Any of your friends who traveled to Russia, you talk to them?
Yeah, I spoke to them. They have had a very nice World Cup experience there. But now, Neeraj, everybody is on social media.
Right.
If I remember some time back, there must be 1,000 or 2,000 journalists who cover this World Cup. They give you the feedback on print media or electronic media about the incidences which have marked the World Cup, or some good examples of how people are treating the visitors there. But I think in social media now, being very prominent, I think nothing of any adverse reporting has been done.
Right.
So for that matter, it was a big success for Russia, because the apprehensions were a lot, and people stayed back by not going to Russia because of these apprehensions of crowd trouble, hooliganism, and all that stuff. And I think for that purpose, that's why Infantino is calling it the most successful cup that he has ever had.
And even on the field, it was very, very thrilling. I think highest goals scored, only second to World Cup 2014. So overall, in second position.
Yeah, in fact, Neeraj, when you told me about VAR, I think the influence of VAR is very, very prominent. It was the back of mind of the coaches and the players, because if there was any violent conduct by the players, it could be spotted by VAR. this was known to the players and the coaches, and that's why we don't have violent conduct
only 4 red
incidents.
cards.
Yeah, violent conduct incident in this World Cup. So that's a victory for VAR in this World Cup.
Lowest red cards at
Yes.
4. Earlier we had India defender Danzel Franco in our studio, and this is his take on the World Cup final between France and Croatia and World Cup in general.
France has been really outstanding in the whole tournament, and they proved it again yesterday. Although we felt that Croatia would have been giving a tough time for France in this final, especially in the World Cup finals. We never expected such a huge score line of 6 goals, but then it all goes to the situation what France created. The free kick, first of all, which Griezmann took, and Varane making the same run in the first post, and unfortunately he could not touch his head, but then it was Mandzukic who scored the winning goal in the semi-finals, scores the self-goal. So that itself, that was a problem for Croatia, but France takes the lead in that goal, and I feel a well-orchestrated free kick by Griezmann. The second goal, according to me, there are many people who say, and many believe that it's not a penalty, but I feel I would like to go against them and say that it is a penalty, because as a defender I need to avoid such situations, and I could see the defender, if you see the replays again and again, you can always see how the hand has been brought down when the ball is coming towards the particular player, and then the hand has been used to put the ball out of play. So for me, it's a correct decision by VAR and by the referee to take a call on penalty. The other 2 goals scored by France, spectacular goals, especially Pogba and Mbappe making good runs, and especially the Pogba's goal has been a clinical finish from the left side with no problems at all to get that scoreline. Not really. France were not that up to the mark in the first half, I feel. Looking at the scoreline, we have to say that Croatia did give a good tough situation for France, but then as we said, the 2 set pieces scored by France has been really, one has been a nice free kick by Griezmann, and the second one penalty kick. With these 2 set pieces apart, I don't think France has done a great job. And for me, I have seen Croatia in the previous match also that on set pieces they have been a little shaky, and that they proved in the semi-final as well against England, that they conceded that free kick from a particular situation. So not very satisfactory from Croatia point of view, the defending set pieces. And in future, I feel they should be avoiding such situations to give away free kicks on the top box of the penalty area. Overall, yes, they have done a great job so far in the finals, till the finals. Hard luck to them, and they've been, I feel they've been very tired in the whole tournament. They've played matches after matches. It's not that France has not played. Both have played equal matches, but then it is also about experience. How certain players, experienced players, go to that level and show their talent on a particular day. And France proved it right, that experience is what that matters. And for me, Croatia was definitely a good team till the finals, until they got tired. And then you could make out from players like Rebic, Modric. These players, I felt that they were running out of fume. They were running out of fuel. So that's all I can say. They couldn't sustain the 90 minutes. Definitely, Luka Modric, one of the best players in the tournament. He deserves the trophy, whatever he has won yesterday, player of the tournament. And Mbappe, a young sensation who has come up. In 1998 he was born, and that's the time France won the World Cup. And after 20 years he wins the World Cup for the nation. again after 20 years. It's a big achievement, and for me, he's a bright prospect for world football. He's into the next generation of stars as Messi and Ronaldo. So I feel both the players deserve whatever awards they have got. Yeah, we need not be talking on this much, because I feel everyone knows what it is. It is all about the lower ranked teams proving themselves and showing the world that football is not only about having stars in the team, but it's all about playing as a well-oiled machine, playing together, giving the 100%, and that's what teams like the lower ranked teams, Croatia, Belgium, and all these teams have proved themselves and come to this level. I would have a couple of teams here. England can be one. Second will be Belgium, and yes, to add to it, maybe I can also say Croatia. These are the three young teams who have been doing a great job in this tournament, and I feel they have a very bright future, because if you see their players, mostly England, they have players. Their captain Harry Kane, who has been just 24 years old, and that age has been the deadline so far. So I can see a bright future for these teams, and making a big impact in the world football in future.
Right, we have only a bit of time left in the show, and this is the final quiz round in our offering of free kick, and here's the concluding question of the season.
What was the role of Didier Deschamps in France World Cup triumph in 1998? Coach, captain, or president?
Send in your correct option to 9011043390 and win football merchandise from VectorX.
Winners of Prudent World Cup Quiz 2018 will be declared on 20th July Friday in our Konkani bulletin at 8 p.m.
Francis Bab, thank you very much for being with us in this free kick season of the FIFA World Cup 2018.
I have enjoyed being here, and all the best to Prudent for this wonderful program that they organize.
Our pleasure, Francis Bab, and we have enjoyed a lot to bring this free kick program to you, and I hope you have liked watching it. So until we meet next time in Euro 2020 free kick season, keep watching Prudent. Goodbye.